Greetings to everyone on YouTube. Thank you for watching my previous battles. I see that some of my videos are getting some comments, some likes, some views because I'm starting to get my channel, rising again. Today, I have 67 days left and counting till I finish my military, service for my country, and I have to be a little more patient because, just 2 months and a week left, so that's that. We continue our journey with the Rain Dance team now, and I have two battles for you guys, not with you, for you guys, with two very cool opponents. They both have Mega Aerodactyl in their teams and Scizor, which shows how useful Scizor can be. And even without a fire type, you can still counter Scizor. There are still ways to take Scizor out. Now, for example, in rain, Scizor is very frail to special water attacks, and that can be shown instead of being said. I'm using the same team, and this is my first opponent of the day, and let us get into the battle. So I'm going to send out my Tornadoes as my classic lead. So I'm going to set up the rain, and this Gengar can go for anything it wants to. It's going to go for a Shadow Ball, it's going to do 60%, and it's going to do enough damage. So I'm going to go for the Hurricane. My opponent is going to get confused, hacked, and I cannot use a Hurricane again. So I'm going to go for the Sludge Wave. I have Sludge Wave for a Fairy type Pokemon, but it hasn't been proven to be that useful. I should have like a Fire type move in this thing. I'm not sure. So I'm going to go for the Taunt on Swampert because I know it wants to go for its rocks, and I do have Galvantula, and I do want to keep my Focus Sash intact. So I'm going to switch out Tornadoes because I really think that he can be useful for for setting up the rain again. Now my opponent goes for the Waterfall on Omastar, and he does about half. And ladies and gentlemen, Hydro Pump is such a powerful move. If this thing connects, it is, oh my god, it's a wonder. So I'm going to have to switch out my Omastar because I wanted to keep it alive, and I do have Florges. So this is where Florges comes in. I really want Florges to heal stuff, in case a wall like Alomomola or anything else tries to stall me out of my health with Toxic or any shenanigans like that, I can go for a Wish from my Florges, send out my Omastar, and it has a crap ton of health, Florges, and I can heal all the way back up, as you will see right here. I'm back at full. Show the animation where I'm back at full, and my opponent sends out an Infernape. Now, this thing may have fighting type moves. No, it may. It does surely have fighting type moves, and it wouldn't surprise me to see if it had Thunder Punch because my guys are kind of weak to it. So my opponent goes for the Z move, and it's the all-out pummeling move, and it's not going to do much to Florges because Florges can take hits from Infernape all day long. So this Infernape is a cheeky Infernape because it has Taunt, and I'm guessing it could have the Stealth Rocks. No, Swampert has the Stealth Rocks. So I cannot do shit when I'm taunted except for go for Moonblast. That is what my opponent knows, and he is going to definitely U-turn out into the Scizor. But he has shown Taunt, he has shown U-turn, he has shown, I haven't seen any fighting type moves yet, so it's kind of suspicious. So I'm going to go for the Moonblast onto Scizor, and I'm going to switch my Florges out because I really need this thing. I should put Hidden Power Fire on this thing. I should make it more offensive to catch those Scizors with guard. But anyway, my opponent is going to go for the Swords Dance. I'm going to send in my physical wall of a Donphan. And this Pokemon is quite good, actually. I really like Donphan. So I'm going to go for the Earthquake to see how much it does on this thing. And it does 47... it leaves it at 47%. Now my opponent must have done some calculations, and he knows that it's a 2-hit KO from there. So he's not going to bother to go for another Swords Dance because I can Aqua Jet with my Cabutops, provided that I get an Earthquake off later. So I go for the Earthquake, my opponent switches out into Aerodactyl, beautifully predicting me to go for the move again. I don't have any reason not to go for an Earthquake again since Scizor is at +2. and I'm going to send out my Florges, and I just want to sack it here because it's not that useful to me. Omastar is at full health, and the only Pokemon that has a status move that I am concerned about is Florges. So as long as my other guys, my main sweepers especially, are not crippled, with any paralysis, burns, or toxic poison, then I really don't care. And this guy uses Hard Claws Aerodactyl. It's getting quite popular. I used it back in 6th Gen, and I told you guys, do not let Mega Aerodactyl set up a Hard Claws. And you will soon see why. Stone Edge is going to take out my Tornadus, but I already got the rain up, so that is not going to be a problem, ladies and gentlemen, because I have the Galvantula. And Galvantula deserves some, he deserves some fame here. So I'm going to go for the Thunder on the Scizor, and I can take him out. That's no problem. I have Compound Eyes just in case the rain runs out, and that's not a problem. So my opponent goes into the Yellow Momola, and I'm thinking he's going to try and stall me out of PP or Rain Turns, and Rain Turns makes more sense. So I'm going to go into the Protect with my Thunder, and Alomomola really cannot do anything. I'm going to go for the Thunder. I get a critical hit. I don't think it really mattered because, come on, it's Galvantula, it's Thunder, and Alomomola is not the most physically defensive Pokemon, or special defensive. So anyway, my opponent's going to send out their Infernape. It has Overheat, and yeah, that's not going to be a problemo because I'm going to go for the Volt Switch. And my main thought process here was I have 3 turns of Rain left, and I want to send out my Omastar and reserve my Kabutops with its Aqua Jet for later, just in case I get some misses, because, my opponent could take out my Omastar here. I decided to go for the Hydro Pump just in case my opponent predicted the Earth Power, but no one knows the Omastar movesets just as well as I do. So my opponent goes for the Stone Edge. Mega Aerodactyl is faster than Omastar, even in the rain, so that is quite impressive, and I do manage to take out my opponent's Mega Aerodactyl with Hydro Pump. Omastar is such a good Pokemon to use in the rain, and it's a modest set. I'm pretty sure that maybe a Timid could outspeed Mega Aerodactyl, but no, I don't think so, because Mega Aerodactyl is insanely fast. So that is the first game I had, and this is the second game. As you can see, my opponent's score is pretty much the same. They have Mega Aerodactyl, Scizor, and I think, did my opponent have Swampert in the previous team? I think he did. So he had a Swampert on their team. So this is pretty much a very solid core. Swampert with the Stealth Rocks, Scizor to, just threaten stuff, defog, Stealth Rocks in case, and Mega Aerodactyl to do the late game sweeping. Now my opponent has a Raikou, which is a problem for my 2 main sweepers, and Togekiss can be a real pain in the ass, but that's why I have Galvantula, I have Tornadus on this team, and Chandelure is not going to be a problem for me because it is quite slow without its Choice Scarf. And I say without its Choice Scarf because if I set a Sticky Web with my Galvantula, then, well, my opponent cannot do squat in terms of speed. But he doesn't have the speediest of speedy teams in the world, but that Raikou certainly could be a problem, and we're going to try and deal with it right now. So the usual lead is Tornadus because I really need that rain up, and my opponent has the Raikou, so that is not good news for me. I'm going to send out my Donphan because I predict my opponent to go for the electric type move, and thankfully I predict very well, and my opponent cannot do a lot because I know he's going to switch out into his Togekiss because he's immune to the Earthquake, and that is where I get a nice chance to set up my Stealth Rock because, if you can actually utilize and make everything good of a turn, take advantage of some stuff, then why not? So my opponent is going to go for the Aura Sphere, and Togekiss is not going to do much to Galvantula. I'm going to sack my Galvantula here to an Air Slash because I want to get my Sticky Web up because that Raikou could be a problem for me. So I decided to sacrifice Galvantula, but that's not a problem because I can go for a Rain Dance. Now, My opponent could go for the Thunder. He could have gone for the Thunder Wave unit to paralyze my Tornadus, and that could have been a problem because had he gone for the Thunder Wave, he could have done well. I could have gotten at least one attack off, but there was the chance of paralysis. So I do manage to get a Hurricane off. No flinches, no confusion hacks, but that's no problem. And in comes Kabutops, ladies and gentlemen. First game, Omastar does some sweeping, and then the second game, of course, Kabutops is going to do a sweep of his own. So, Kabutops is going to come in. Scizor is kind of a problem to my guys because, you know, he can go for the Bullet Punch as he does go, and he does 40%, so that means it's a 3-hit KO. I do have the Waterfall, and I am faster because I do have Aqua Jet, and that means that Scizor will not be able to get Bullet Punch first off. So, Scizor is out of there. Scizor was also a problem to my guys. Florges is hopelessly in the mercy of Scizor if it's around. So Chandelure comes in, it takes Stealth Rocks, it takes the minus speed, and I go for the Waterfall. It's not my Chandelure kicks ass. My Chandelure would never have gotten itself in the situation. Anyway, so in comes Swampert, as if it wasn't slow enough. I'm going to go for the Waterfall to see how much it does, and since Swampert is a defensive monster, it can live a Waterfall from my Kabutops. Now, Kabutops is dead. This is the end. He doesn't sweep, but in comes Omastar with one turn of rain left. I go for the Ice Beam just in case, you know, I missed a Hydro Pump, and I really did not want that Swampert to get an Earthquake off. So in comes, the rain stops, and I'm like, Mega Aerodactyl is here, so maybe this thing wants to go for Horn Claws too. So, it is a Mega Evolution. It is a Mega Aerodactyl, so I know I can live at least one Earthquake, one attack from this Aerodactyl. So I'm going to go for the Rain Dance at the second turn, see if I can outspeed it. And my opponent goes for the Earthquake again. I was thinking that I could outspeed Mega Aerodactyl for some reason, but no, I forgot that I'm much slower. So both of my physical sweepers are dead, and this is when you play the game properly. This is when you check your opponent properly. So I'm going to go for the Moonblast. It does 43%, which means it's 2-hit KO from the range of health it was. And Florges is at a very good range of health. So, yeah. My opponent goes for a second Earthquake. And I do get the Moonblast off. The Earthquake will not kill me. My opponent did not go for its own edge. Maybe afraid of the mishacks. But, oh well. My opponent is left with his Raikou, and since Mega Aerodactyl is out of the way, which I'm very grateful for because I did not have any other moves with my Donphan, my opponent goes for a critical hit, Shadow Ball on Florges, and does completely nothing. So maybe he was predicting me to switch out into Donphan or something. Maybe this thing is... No, it's not Choice Scarf because it has leftovers. So, I go for the Moonblast. It's not going to do much, and even at -1 speed, Florges is slower than Raikou. But, ladies and gentlemen, my opponent is checked because I do have the Donphan, and there is nothing my opponent can do to me. Even if he got a +6 critical hit with Shadow Ball, I do have the Sturdy. I will live at 1 HP, and I will get off the Earthquake. But that's not the case. I still get the Earthquake off. I take the Raikou out and end this game with my head held up high. Donphan is an amazing Pokemon. As you can see, this was a massacre. Pokemon falling left and right, but, you know, in the end, some sacrifices had to be made. Sacrifices like sacking my Galvantula to Togekiss. But it really didn't matter that much because, you know, my physical and special sweepers were dead anyway. So, yeah, Donphan still did a good job. I've never used Donphan before. It's pretty underrated. I think I haven't used Donphan before. I might have used them in the Showdown battle in the past, but I don't remember my content, so I really have to, you know, revise my stuff. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is today's double battles that I had. I had a very good day today, and I hope you guys had a good day as well. And here's all the battles. This Rain Dance thingy team is very, very cool, actually. I love using this Pokemon team. and I will be continue to using it until I get bored with it. And maybe next time I might feature a sunny day team, which is the equivalent of rain dance team. And you know, some Pokemon in the sunlight can be just as dangerous as the aforementioned swift swimming Kanto Fossil Pokemon of Doom. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. I want to thank you guys, everyone that, even if there are like just 5 of you, I want to thank you guys for watching my previous videos. I hope you guys like my content, and if you consider it, you know, you can subscribe. It's free. It just takes a second to hit the subscription button, and I will be posting some battles for you guys every day. Well, at least every second day, because you know, one day I'm at home and the other day I am doing my service for the Hellenic Army, which is cool. You know, it's cool. It's not, you know, military stuff. It may sound that I'm in the army, but I'm not doing like any training exercises or super killing, wow, Black Ops, Operation Call of Duty kind of thing. I'm pretty much, you know, I have a more decorative purpose in the Hellenic Army. I am an F-Zone soldier, and if you've visited Greece before, you might know them from the, you know, if you visited them, you know what the F-Zones are. So even if you haven't, you can Google that stuff. F-Zone soldiers. It's, you know, Ev, EV, and Zone. You know, so we'll learn a little something today. So without further ado, I'm going to be signing off. Thank you again for watching this battle, and thank you again for watching my previous battles. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next battle. So goodbye.